My name is John Adamis. I'm gonna present a case study that I did on Airbnb. So Airbnb is facing a number of challenges whereby 72% of its customers are complaining on the service that they provide. So a research was done by Ferguson in 2025 November 3, whereby we see that the system that they are using, uh, the service is not being updated. The rooms, everything is not up to date. So the experience that the users they are having using their application. So they have so many complaints. I've also done a social media search and see that there are complaints also by Rivera in January 2023 of what the experience that he did in using the system of Airbnb. So I've looked in the infrastructure of Airbnb, and I see that the challenges they are caused because the data is scattered across many systems. Because of that, we see that the dynamic pricing is not in real time. The complexity of infrastructure is very expensive to maintain, and personal experience and guest and host is limited and slows data refresh of the system. So because of that, the higher cost and slow insights and the performance of the system is very unreliable, and it's very difficult to do fast personalization of the user profile, and then it will be very difficult for them to move with AI capabilities to integrate into their system. So Airbnb, for the problems to be addressed, I think if they can do real-time pricing recommendation, personalize the guest experience across the web or the mobile, scale up its machine learning model globally, and reduce time whereby analysts can spend on do data preparation. So I'm proposing that we take a look into Snowflake, which is also a cloud native data warehousing platform, same as Redshift, with different capabilities that it can bring to address the problems that Airbnb may face. So I've done a comparison analysis to check the categories to do with scalability, performance, price model, user interface, data integration, security, and the use of AI. We can see that Snowflake independently scaling. It separated the storage and the computational servers, allowing dynamic adjustments to its workload, which can be a benefit of use, which can a benefit that can be realized by Airbnb in dynamically update its tables or its applications. And when you look at Redshift, the scale nodes are manually configured, which takes time, and the performance depends on the distribution. So for that reason, I would choose Snowflake. Performance-wise, Snowflake uses an automatic tuning, and it is high concurrency, whereby if Airbnb use Snowflake, its systems will refresh automatically and in real time, which is for Redshift is very high performance and manual tuning. For price, I think the computational base of Snowflake is that we pay for what you have used, which is not the case with Redshift. The user interface for Snowflake is very user-friendly, and whereas the Redshift is complex, but it has a number of features that you can use. For that reason, I would propose that we use Snowflake. Data integration. We can see that Snowflake it can be integrated with Amazon Web Services, Azure, and Google platforms, and such as Power BI, Tableau, and ETL pipelines, which cannot be case with Redshift, which can only be integrated with the Amazon Web Services ecosystem. For security, both platforms they're doing well in terms of improving security, and also they're both doing well in terms of integrating AI in its platforms. So after doing this comparison, I think I propose Airbnb to start to think about investing its infrastructure in Snowflake. Price comparison. We can see that the price for computations for an hour is $2 using Snowflake, and then it's $3.23 using Redshift. For storage, it's $23 for a terabyte for Snowflake, and also it's for Redshift it's very expensive. I've done an example for Airbnb to consider, and you can see that Snowflake it will require $423 for 200 hour computational for 1 terabyte, and also it will require $653 using Redshift, whereby we can also see that Snowflake is very cheap. If we check on automation and maintenance, we can see that Redshift require manual workloads, which is very expensive on overheads, as well as whereas Snowflake is automated a lot of its operations, which is lower admin overheads and time travel data recovery. If you check the pros and cons of Redshift, you can see that Redshift it's deep. It has a deep integration within Amazon Web Services, low cost for predictable workloads and storage and security features, and then it's mature ecosystem with a lot of Amazon Web Services. But the limitations is that it requires manual tuning for a lot of things. For scalability, it has a tight coupled to only Amazon Web Services ecosystem, whereas it is limited to be integrated with other platforms. And also the other limitation is that it's limited in working with semi-structured data like JSON. Looking into Snowflake, we can see that it is a high flexible and multi-cloud platform, which it can be integrated, and it can also run on Amazon Web Services, Azure, and Google platform. It is a capability to auto scaling its computations, and it can also handle diverse data types like structured and semi-structured data, like work with JSON, whereas our client Airbnb also works with structured and semi-structured data. It has a low admin overheads cost, whereby a lot of things have been automated. Yeah, it doesn't require manual work to be done, and its data recovery technique, it's a plus for Snowflake. And I would also propose that Airbnb to use Snowflake. In terms of its limitations, is that maybe for heavy workloads, it gets expensive. Why should we use Snowflake? Based on the features that we've discussed, I think it's split on computation and storage. It's the price is cheaper, so the business value is that it is also flexible since it comes with automation, and it doesn't require a lot of work overhead, and also its ability to work with semi and structured data types like JSON, which our clients sometimes collect. This will make Snowflake a choice in terms of comparing the two. So the business value for Airbnb is to reduce its infrastructure overheads by implementing Snowflake, and also it reduces the maintenance cost by implementing Snowflake, whereby we have noticed that Redshift, it has a lot of manual computations that can be done. Snowflake is very high, and if it's flexible, it can be scaled up or down, and also its automation, and the price is very low as compared to Redshift. So in addressing the problems that Airbnb faces, we can see that Snowflake improves it will centralize the Airbnb system, and it will improve the guest profile, the host profile, the search behaviors, the prices, and the booking, and the reviews of the messaging, which is a plus for Airbnb if it start think about implementing Snowflake. So in conclusion, I would propose the management and the IT team to consider start to implement Snowflake, since it comes with a number of advantages as compared to Redshift, and this will also address the problems that Airbnb faces with a number of complaints that we've noticed, that 73% complaints the customer service problems. So in addressing these problems, it should implement a Snowflake infrastructure, or integrate the current infrastructure with Snowflake, which can increase its business value, thereby reduce the cost and overheads of maintenance. Thank you.